Welcome back, everyone. This is Alex from Triple FX Social. I am here with the lovely Melissa McFarland from Creative Successful Entrepreneurs, and we are continuing our conversation about integrating creativity into your business.
Right on.
And yes. So I have a question today about roadblocks. So what are some common roadblocks you see that creatives come up against when they are working on a business?
Well, there are some really like every time ones, and then there's ones that are different people, struggle with. But let's start with a lot of creatives have um, uh, resistance about, we talked about a little bit earlier in the series here, losing themselves and that kind of thing. So one thing that we find is that it's really hard for creatives to get out of the bargaining mindset that I can have one thing or another thing, but not both things, meaning I can have a creative freedom, or I can have a lot of money, or I can have a big impact, but I can't have all three. And so business actually works better if you can get the end goal, of the business, and choose a business that's going to solve a complicated long-term problem for your clientele. So we need people to be thinking expansively, like changing the landscape in their arena, solving a big, huge issue. I keep bringing up Stephen, but when we first got to working with him, he kept thinking of small products and we said, aren't there like massive glass projects that you'd like to work on? Well, yes, I'll get to those eventually. So creatives tend to kind of do things iteratively and to see about this big of where they want to go. It's a lot better if we say to them, well, do you want to go to the, if you got that, would you also want to go there? Would you also want to, we don't want a person to say they want to save the world or, be in 25 countries with their product if they don't. But we find that creatives have a hard time dreaming for themselves because they're afraid it's going to mean that they're going to have to work too hard. And actually, sometimes it's just a lot easier to build that castle than it is to build the button, or it costs the same amount to do each, but one you earn a lot more money for and one you earn a lot less. So dreaming is a shorthanded answer to the biggest problem that creatives have, ironically, is to dream in the arena of money, impact, and time and quality of life all at once. That's not a million things, but I know we're trying to keep our answers short here for you, Alex. I could give you a few more if you want me to keep going on and on. What do you
Yeah, I'll just comment on that one real fast. For me, dreaming has never been the problem. Like I can always think too big. So that's just, maybe I'm an exception to that one.
Yes, take a look at that for your business, when we started thinking either for triple effect social or for your new business, Creative Self Revolution, which you now have time for because you have triple
Effect. That one I can think big on. With Triple Effect, I had a harder time thinking as big, but with Creative Self Revolution, which is a more of a passion project business, there I can think worldwide universe, and you have to bring it back down.
Yes. Now, when you think about getting started, what stops you then from taking that big idea, and where do you get stopped, Alex?
It's around the issue of, I know how to do this thing and I can do it myself. Can I really help other people do this? And are other people going to want to pay to have help for that?
Yeah. So we do find that's an arena we call packaging and pricing, that we find our creatives just need a little help getting creative in understanding how to read what the client, what the user, the customer needs, and then match up or marry up the service or the product so that it's a good match, and then price it so that it pays. Just those are just rules, and that's just knowledge base. But I would say that's a big place that creatives stumble, is just not knowing what they don't know that would help them get through the answers like that, Alex. And then what then happens is their confidence dries up. They have a big idea, but then they realize it's on them to build it. So, and they don't know the answers and they just stop. Or they build something they already know, which is not at all a good solution for the end goal. So they they package and price it incorrectly. For example, people often in the creative world are used to charging hourly for their services, and we rip that rug right out from under them right away. We don't ever want to charge hourly because it's really not helpful for anyone to be able to calculate. I mean, how much is the painting really worth? if you spent 30 hours and 30 years to learn how to paint it. You know, we can't
Right.
charge someone for 30 years, can we? So we don't want to get into that. That's just a good example of not knowing what they don't know. So that's a place that creatives fall down.
Yeah.
Dreaming big and then not knowing the specifics of how to how to get their big idea into the world. I don't think that's, yeah. Go
Well,
ahead.
I'd say one that came up for me is around that pricing issue. As a singer-songwriter, you know, spending 100 hours on a song, people will not buy it for 99 cents. For me to then come up with a package that's hundreds or thousands of dollars, it's so hard for me to get that thinking that people are willing to pay for this thing. And being able to ask for that, because it's like, well, I'm used to asking for 99 cents. So,
Yeah. So that's what I meant by going back to, I don't know that I actually said it, but sort of confidence mindset around that. So, and it isn't just sort of willy-nilly confidence, like I can just ask that. No, confidence comes from understanding what's behind the metrics you might choose. So, when we take into account with packaging and pricing, what is it, how much should someone pay? How much are they going to need to pay in order to value the service, for example? Or how much is it going to cost for you to deliver it happily and to spend all the time, you know, that you need to spend to be right there with them and not worry about your rent? How much is that number? Not how much will they pay, which we don't think of at all. Because people will pay for things once they understand the value of them that they never would have paid for before they understood that value. So that's an understanding. Again, back to the knowledge base that a creative needs to have to know how they can charge, what the rules are for pricing, like some of those I just shared, but also what the internal perspective is. This isn't about putting a price tag on a value. I mean, a lot of what we do, if I can in 10 minutes give someone a way to earn hundreds of thousands of dollars more a year for the rest of their lives, should I charge them $1 million for that 10 minutes? Well, you know, so we have to think about some of those rules and begin to have an ability to value what it is that we do in the world commensurate to the actual impact it brings for our audience or for our customer. And when we understand that, we know how to do that, then we're armed with some tools that can help us really make our business fly, and that the customers will be really happy that we did all the work to figure out, and we'll pay for it.
Wonderful. Okay. Well, thank you for your answer on that. We are diving maybe a little further into this, and we have got some great back episodes. If you haven't seen everything that we've put together here for this, make sure you go back and watch everything. Thank you again, Melissa, for your expertise, and I always learn something from you. So
I'm learning too, as you require me to articulate it out. So
okay.
it's great to see everyone here.
All right. Bye.
Bye.